let's get started. This is not the scheduled Orc stream, which is why I'm doing it. That's gonna start probably a little more than 20 minutes, but I wanted to go over the mods, and I wanted to go over some, the mod I'm gonna use. I'll be honest, I play a lot of Bethesda games and a lot of Minecraft mod packs, and I've done that for more than half my life, so the idea of playing a game without mods is kind of weird to me, but luckily Orc actually has like a sponsored mod program and a lot of really cool mods, so I'm gonna be using some of them. And I'm going to be tweaking some of the settings, and I'll go over my previous experience with Orc, because I'll be honest, if you don't know, I'm going to try to refrain from spoilers as much as possible, because I know what it's like when you're getting into a game late. But there is a volcano in the center of the island in Orc, and in order to progress past a certain point, you have to go through the volcano. And the thing about that is that I love Orc. The pathing area is kind of terrible though. And by kind of terrible, I mean absolutely an atrocity. And I actually got really frustrated, and I kind of used a mod to let me get past that point. Because I'm not kidding, half the time, like every time I turned a corner, half of my dinosaurs would run into the lava, and yeah, so that wasn't fun. I'm gonna try to figure out a way around it, but that's one of the things. I think Orc is meant to be it is meant to be a multiplayer game, and there are certain things that don't work so well as single player. So these are the default settings. And I'll just take them a little bit. I feel like progression in Orc is like super fast, and I'm already at the point where I get immersive timing, so I'm going to turn that down to 0.8. And I actually level up really fast anyway, because I go after all the explorer notes. Let's see, everything else. Yeah, most of these aren't relevant. PvE mode. Yeah, no. Single player settings, yeah, you do need that, basically. With single player settings, then it tweaks a lot of things, but the main thing that I noticed right off the bat was raising dinosaurs. In Orc with multiplayer mode, it takes real life days for dinosaurs to grow up, and I don't think any of us have time for that. Allow fly speed leveling is actually the default now, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I'm not disabling dino taming or riding. That's my favorite part of this game. Advanced, there is one thing I know I want to tweak here. Okay, so offline, no. What I want is to tweak this so that you need to play with them more often. And I normally tweak it down to like 0.2, because in single player mode otherwise it's so fast that I think I do 0.25. Otherwise it goes so fast, it's like nope, it's you barely get to interact with them at all. And what's the point of raising a baby dinosaur from the egg if you can't pet them? And yeah, I used to think because these stats were weird, I thought that was just a glitch in my game, and I raised them all the way up to 1.0. No, they're meant to be like this. Let's see, experience, multipliers, custom recipes, raid dino feeding, that's the Titanosaur. I'm probably not going to be timing one of those because you can't use them in bosses. Anyway, mods. I'm actually going to check real quick. Okay, so you can't see my stream overlay, which is actually good because otherwise it'd be violating my friend's privacy. But what that means is I'm going to have to go over the mods one at a time. And I'll have to describe them. So Saddle Emporium adds a lot of really cool saddles. There's the decorative saddles for like velociraptors. They do the most with horses, obviously, because you know, horses. Yeah. And apparently this mod is just getting updated again, which is kind of cool. But it adds a lot of, you can build saddles with more materials and they have more effects. Like normally more carrying capacity. And then the next one is, I actually wanted to get rid of some of these wardrobe skins. I end up not using. The boss box is the one I talked about that allowed me to not do the volcano. If it turns out that literally, unless you have multiple people able to corral the dinos, you can't get them through the volcano, I'll re-enable it, but I'm gonna do my level best this time. In my defense, my little brother is super excellent and super nice, and he was trying so hard to keep from saying "Oak spoilers" at me. And so I figured I'd get to the boss, and I did. But this time I'm gonna go like serious all the way. Though I might actually write up some of the like rules I did, and rules me and my brothers did for like smaller servers, or if you don't want to grind. So Saddle Emporium, I covered that. Immersive Taming, hands down the best mod in the game, because normally in ARK, in order to tame things, but in order to tame like 90% of the things, you have to beat them up and knock them unconscious and feed them. And this adds a new system with like bait rags, and the progression is more gradual, and you can pet them, and it is the best mod ever. In fact, I'm going to exclusively immersive tame as soon as I get to that point. And doing my testing to see if ARK Van actually got up to the level needed. So that's something. Accessories Plus, that adds things like backpacks and dribbles and gliders, and they do actually have in-game effects. Never Stuck Again. This is a mod that helps cancel out the terrible pathing in ARK. Basically, if you give them a special item, then they'll just break all the items they come across. And that actually kind of does balance itself out, because you can't leave it on them all the time, or they'll break all the middle rocks and you can't mine metal. Eco's Primordial Decor. I believe that's the one that adds tents. I'm gonna double check that. Primordial Decor, and I spelled that wrong, despite it being right in front of me. So that's something. Okay. Yeah, primitive structural skin sense. Yeah, you get to move stuff, pick them up. I really like it, and I'm doing sort of a nomad playthrough right now. I normally stop in score shortcuts because, you know, that's difficult to do. Blessing of Unicorns adds elemental unicorns. Poison, fire, lightning, and ice. Really cool. The unicorns are really rare. I don't even know if we'll run into one, but really cool. Eco's OP Decor is another eco mod. Eco is a great mod author, by the way, and I fully support all of their endeavors, but I'm not going to have all the mods all of their mods at this point. No, I wanted OP Decor, so yeah. It adds furniture and tons of other items, so I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I sure would like to. Natural babies. That's exactly what it says. Normally in ARK, a certain percentage of normally in ARK, all dinosaurs are adults. All dinosaurs you find are adults. This tricks it, so like, I think maybe 30% of them are various stages of being babies. And that actually kind of has a cool side effect with immersive taming. Normally in immersive taming, really powerful things like T-Rexes, you need to still defeat them in combat. It's a slightly different system than the vanilla knocking them out one. But in this, if you find a baby, you can tame it anyway, which honestly I think that's fair, because then you're in the middle of the wilderness and you have a baby thing. They need a lot of food because, you know, they're babies. The Diplo Club is another thing to help with the bad hazing, and also the fact that there are some areas that you can get stuck in, and like literally stuck, and there is no way to get your dinosaurs out without using something like a Diplo Club. Diplodocus in this game do no damage because they're friendly goofballs. They will just knock you back a whole lot, so this basically replicates that. Simple Spawners, I'm not sure if I need it. I know a lot of mods use it. Basically, Simple Spawners makes it so that you can modify where things spawn in the game. Shad's better Gigas rebalance slightly changes Gigas, because Gigas are actually one of those things that you're supposed to defeat with a whole team of people, which is going to be difficult for me because I don't have a whole team of people. Fertilized eggs naturally spawn. Okay, I'm actually gonna check because I think I disabled that a while back because it kept crashing my game. This is the same reason I disabled the sleeping mod. But I think it updated recently, so I'm gonna double check that. And if it has, then I'm gonna keep it. Fertilize eggs, and my phone keeps falling. That's normal. So, fertilize eggs, naturally spawn. Updated April 15th, yeah, so, there we go. Oh, that's right, the chat better Giga's New Balance. Remind me of this. Or don't if you want to see me fight a vanilla Giga. You have to change the INI file, which I have not done yet. Actually, that's not true. I edited the wrong INI file, and kind of broke everything. So, here's the thing. I'll be right back, but before, the first time I tried playing ARK, it will not load the map while Streamlabs is running. So I'm gonna have to close Streamlabs real quick. And I'll be right back once the world's loaded. So I will see you in about 10 minutes. Or probably less.